Ahaya Shoahaya, Bahashim Hamashiach Ishai, Wakorashu Ra. This is your Akshama, right? Or the Holy Seed of Jeshurun, set apart offspring of the Most High chosen, seeking to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, the faith, and Mashiach Ishai, and walking all the fruits of the Kodash Ruach power, right? Blessed to come before y'all on Holy Feast, the memorial blowing of trumpets, and the third new moon of the year, right? We got the four new moons that represent the four divisions of the year and the four seasons of the year, right? And so, Most High bless us to come into another season, right? Been preserving us all month long and all year long and bringing us into the most holy month, of our calendar. We got 7 holy days in this month. And today being memorial blowing of the trumpets, right? We read a precept on that. Psalms. Not a lot spoken, of course, on the new moon feast, but there's lessons on it on the page, on the channel, right? Psalms 81, verse 1, sing aloud unto Ahia our strength, make a joyful noise unto the power of Jacob. Verse 2, take a psalm and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the psaltery. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day, right? That's today. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the power of Jacob, right? So it's a day of feasting, day of gladness, day of joy. If you know all the biblical references of the trumpet, there's a lot, right? The trumpet was blown to call the assembly for certain and various reasons, to move when we're in the wilderness, to go to battle and get to war, to assemble the tribes, to pray, to in your solemn days of joy, you can blow the trumpet because Most High bless you because He's good, because He's wonderful, right? We on this feast, right? All praise to the Most High. Memorial blowing of the trumpets, right? And so also another precept, right? If you have the opportunity, right? Psalms 58, Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions and the house of Jacob their sins. Get out there, right? Get out there, man. Bring forth the truth. Win some souls into the kingdom, right? Pull our brothers out of the fire. Be lights unto the world, right? All praise to High Bashim Shai. So today, on this holy day, you got a lesson I've been telling y'all that I've been wanting to do for a while, and that I would get it done. Glory to the Most High. Thank the Most High. Still up here in this setting, right? In this city setting, to where I can sit down and really, study and go over my precepts, to where these lessons that I can bring forth can continue to be thorough. Precept on precept, not leaving any stone unturned. And today we're gonna dive in and get into Second Esdras, right? Chapter 11, chapter 12, and the eagle, right? You see the title of the video. So we're gonna break it down, get the understanding, get the revelation, get the edification out, so brethren can also understand. This lesson is precepting as a video. The other video I did titled Revelation 17 and the Beast. All right. And that beast is spoken of by Daniel chapter 7. And this video is going to show another angle of the same breakdown, same prophecy, but it's going to be in more detail, to where you're going to know clearly, how these end times are supposed to, turn out, and you can prepare. You can be prudent, of wisdom, and understand what you're going to do, right? So we got a lot to cover. Most High willing, take notes. It's going to be like a history lesson straight up, because this is basically going to give you the historical background, behind these people, right? So let us start off first. Mark chapter 13 and verse 7. Let's start there. Mark chapter 13 and verse 7, right? And reads, and when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet, right? So we're looking at these things that are happening all over the world. It's not me too much, you can't even count. But one thing we do see is wars, rumors of wars, nations flexing, nations making threats here and there about other nations, man. But the scripture's saying, man, it's not the end yet, right? See a lot of people crying and looking, hoping for a Mashiach to come. Hurry up, come right now. Oh, he's not coming yet, right? But these are signs, right, to show you where we're at in prophecy, right? Verse 8, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. All these things we're seeing right now. So according to the scripture, we're in the beginning of sorrows right now, right? It's a major earthquake in Morocco, tens of thousands of people have died there. Floods, right? Famine is already going on in the earth. I always talk to you about the fake food that you're getting fed over there in Babylon, to where it's a famine because the real food is not even being produced. It's being shut down. It's being looked over for man-made processed food, right? Food that's created in factories. So these things are coming to pass and upon us right now, right? Let's get Second Esdras 15. All right. Set the table. You already know. We got to set the table before we eat. Glory to the Most High. Second Esdras chapter 15. And we'll start at verse 14. Woe to the world. That means destruction to the world, right? And them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? This is a race war is about to jump off, right? Scripture tell you, in Isaiah, that these things about to jump off, man, right? Y'all see the situation how it happened in Alabama? I spoke on that briefly. Y'all see the things happening in the earth, Certain nations are starting to rise up. Certain nations' eyes are being opened. A lot of people are returning to their own nation, right? From Babylon. Like the scripture says, going back to your own nation. Because they see Babylon done, right? Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. That's just talking about rioting, complaining, rebellion, right? Sedition is when you cause an uproar, causing a ruckus over a certain topic, a certain political action, a certain law that got passed, certain somebody that just got killed by the police, right? These things cause an uproar, and people are going to start acting lawless, not going to care about the laws of the land, right? Verse 18, Verse 17, and a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Starting to restrict travel. They're starting to restrict flights. They're going to require you to have a certain type of passport soon, right? The National Guard is being deployed everywhere now, right? They just got deployed again. Where? I think in that city in Nebraska, might be Lincoln, where this train just blew up and got acid all in the air. Acid on there. They evacuating people, but they ain't evacuating them far enough. Acid all in the air right now. Raining down on people, showering on people. Gonna bring forth cancer, leukemia, all that stuff, right? Lord to the Most High. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Houses are being ran up in every day now. Robbers are just more brazen. I see them so much on, on independent news. There's people not regarding the law no more. Right, verse 20, behold, said Ahiah, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the east, from the south, from the east, and Lebanus, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them. So the Most High is going to put a spirit on all the nations and start fighting one another, start taking each other out. Right? This is the vengeance. This is the warfare tactics that the Most High have. Right? He has angels over every nation. Right? When he divided the nations, he said a ruler over every people. Sirach 17 and 17. So every nation chose to follow an angel instead of the Most High. Right? This is a decision they chose. Nimrod being the first one to make this choice. You read about this in Book of Jasher at the Tower of Babel. They all chose to follow angels. So the Most High, those angels are on his instruction, and he's going to tell them, hey, put a spirit on these dudes, start fighting one another. Now what you're seeing. Everybody rising up against everybody, having a problem with everybody, right? The main one that's even connecting to this scripture is Europe, right? Looking at America, looking at Babylon, having a problem with them, having an issue with them, right? There's an issue where America right now trying to release some soldiers out of Iran. Some prisoners out of Iran, doing a prisoner swap. But in addition, they're going to release $6 billion in frozen assets and money of Iranian money. And the three of the members of the JCPOA, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, supposed to be restricting Iran from doing all kind of stuff. Three of them say, nah, we don't want you to do this deal, and these sanctions were about to run out on that deal that America left out of in 2015. The sanctions are about to expire anyway next month. They didn't get renewed. So on the 18th of next month, October, Iran was supposed to be able to start selling oil and selling arms, weapons freely. France, Germany, and Britain formed something called the E3, right? And I'm going to speak on that a little later. The E3, they say, no, we're going to keep the sanctions going on you because we don't like what you're doing. We don't approve what you're doing. And we don't think that you need to be free from these sanctions, even though a deal hasn't been re-signed, right? And so, according to the script, right, these things are going to create war, right? Iran's already linked up with Russia. North Korea they're whatever you call them, president just came from over there, Kim Jong-un. He just came from Russia. So they worried about that, right? You got the coups going on in Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali. France have a lot of issues, have a lot of issues down there. Right? We'll get into that too, Most High will. But it's wars, rumors of wars going on all over the world, and Most High is the one stirring this up. This is what he said he was going to do, right? Let's get one more verse. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 21. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, the way the nations treat us, destroy us, war against us, spoil us, so will I do also and recompense in their bosom. Thus said the Most High Power, right? So these things that are happening on earth, we can't get confused and think against the will of the Most High. Okay, I got to say it like that. Certain things are going to be happening, and if you don't know who you are, and you don't know that your power is actually causing these things and fighting for us, as he's always done, glory to a high Bashem Shai, you don't want to catch yourself up thinking in, sadness and grief against the will of the Most High when this thing is being done for the nation of Israel. We a lot of us too comfortable in our captivity, and we supposed to be looking to get up out of here and go back home, right? So glory to the Most High, man. And the Most High fighting for us, right? Let's get over to Matthew 12. So set the table. All right. Matthew 12 and 25. It says, and Yeshai knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. This is going to be a stable when we're going through this lesson today. You're going to realize a nation, an empire, a kingdom can only last so long, and it usually breaks down for internal strife, division, jealousy, envy, right? That kingdom's not going to stand, according to the scripture, right? According to Mashiach, verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand, right? I tell you in Daniel, there's a people of the prince. All right, there's a people that he have in the earth, just like Ahia got a chosen people in the earth. Satan got a people in the earth, right? And so it says, if he cast out himself, what you think gonna happen? What you think gonna happen, right? It's gonna come crumbling down. We're going to document that today. All right, we're gonna break that down today. Let's go back to we'll hold off on that scripture. Let's go to Daniel 7. Let's go to Daniel 7. All right. Matter of fact, yeah, let's go to Daniel 7. Daniel 7 and verse 1. All right, we're going to begin to break down what we're breaking down today, right now, right? Daniel chapter 7. And we start in verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head up on his bed, when he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters, right? So understand, Ahia, what do he say? How he speak with us, right? Let's get Job, all right? Job, chapter 33 and verse 14. For Ahia speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not, right? Verse 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumbers upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. So this is showing you an example how the Most High speak with our people through signs, through dreams, through visions. So Daniel had a dream. He got up, man, wrote that boy down, right? I had a dream last week, man, a vision, man. I think it was on Thursday, Tuesday, right? And what I was hearing, I'm glad Holy Spirit let me remember this because I meant to write it down. I forgot. 18 days. In my dream, some woman was saying, y'all got 18 days. And this from last week on Tuesday. I wish I knew more I could tell you, but that's what I got. So of course I gotta mark this, This is looking close to this October 4th thing that I'm pretty sure if y'all don't know what's coming up, it's supposed to be a trial run of a emergency signal sent to everybody's cell phone in Babylon, right? Look like this is kind of close to that day when I'm looking on the calendar, but most I speaks in dreams and visions, right? I get a lot of dreams, sometimes, like I tell you all the time, I get a lot of dreams and I be want to write them down, or I wake up and be meditating on them, and I'll fall asleep when I'm meditating on it, and another dream will come. It's like that out here, glory to the Most High. But Daniel, he got this dream, he got this vision, right? And so he wrote it down. I was like, I don't want to forget the matter, man. Y'all having dreams and visions, man. Keep a pen by your bed, write this stuff down, right? Verse 2. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea. The winds, right? This is the judgments of the Most High, right? His power, right? He used the winds, right? You got the east wind, that'll be a strong wind. The Most High brought an east wind when he brought all the flies and the locusts over on Egypt, right? And then he brought a wind from the west when he took them away and blew them back up out of there, right? And you got one from the north and from the south too. And you can read about them winds in the book of Enoch as well, right? Daniel 7:2. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea. The sea, we want to get something on that too, right? Let's see. On the sea, we'll come back to that. We're going to break down what the sea is, right? Strove up on the, matter of fact, let's do it right now. Let's do it right now since we already own it. Isaiah 17, right? What is the sea? Isaiah 17:12. Woe to the multitude of many people, that's a nation, which make a noise like the noise of the seas. You see that? And to the rushing of nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. So we knowing that these winds, these judgments is coming upon many nations, and it's going to reveal what the Most High doing with these many nations. You understand? Read Daniel 7:2 again. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea. So this is a certain nation. Right, when it talks about seas, those are many nations. So when it says great sea, it's one great nation, right? Verse 3, and four great beasts came up from the sea, divers one from another. So four nations came up out of the sea, right? Four kingdoms came up out of the sea. The sea is the world of the nations, right? Verse 4, the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. So, of course, this is the breaking down of the captivities of Yasharallah. We'll go into that in a minute, right? And this one is the Syrian Babylonian captivity, right? Verse 5. And behold, verse 5, and behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side and had three ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it, and they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh. This will be the Babylonian Persian captivity, right? Likened unto the bear. Verse 6, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it four wings of a fowl. All right, we're going to get into something that's lining up with there too. The beast had also four heads, and dominion was given to it. All right. This is the Grecian captivity, right? And I got to point out some things while we on this, because this is going to line up with what we're going to read in Second Esdras. Okay, the leopard, of course, this speaking of the Grecian captivity, the first ruler was Alexander the Greek, or otherwise known as Alexander the Great. He was known to wear leopard skin on his body, right? So that's why it says in verse 6, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. Now, when we read in second Esdras, it's going to bring out a fowl. It's going to be the eagle, and it's going to have certain wings. So if you understand this breakdown, I mean, it's going to have certain wings on it. When you understand this breakdown, now let's just go to it. It says 4 wings of a fowl, and the beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. The wings and the 4 heads is the same thing. All right. Let's read right now what that is. So we go to the Apocrypha, go to Maccabees chapter 1, and this is going to correlate with what we're going to read in 2nd Esdras 12, right? This is first Maccabees chapter 1, and we'll just start at verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, the son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So Persian and Mede captivity, that was the previous second beast. And when Alexander smote them, now the Grecian captivity started, right? So this is the third beast. Verse 2, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. He conquered and was like undefeated, right? Verse 3, and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. Verse 4, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him. They start paying taxes onto him, right? Whether it was gold, money, wool, animals, camels, whatever, right? Verse 5, and after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and his close friends that he grew up with, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. This is for his friends that he parted the kingdom under. That's why when you read here in Daniel chapter 7, it says that there was a fowl. It was Daniel chapter 7, verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. So each of these wings are kings, right? Because the nation got parted. So there were 4 kings. You got Ptolemy, Lysimus, Cassandra, and what's the last one? I got it in my notes. Let me make sure I get that for y'all, right? Let me see. You had Ptolemy, Lysimachus, Cassandra, I can't remember what it is right now, y'all. But this is what each wing is. It's a king, right? And this will help you understand when we start breaking down this eagle, it got wings on it too, y'all, right? So this is how we know who's who, what's it talking about, and how we're going to be able to break down what this eagle is, because we're going to be able to break down who these kings are, where they came from, how long they reigned, and they're all going to be from one nation, right? I'm going to get this for y'all before we move forward. I know some of y'all probably already have it, right? But I just want to make sure. I want to make sure I bring it out right now. Make sure I put it out right now. Man, this is going to be a long video too. I'm trying to get it for y'all. Trying to get it for y'all right quick. Just forbear a couple more seconds. I should be coming up on it. All praise your name, high by Shemishai. It would be my notes. Let me see. I don't want to leave nothing unturned with y'all, man. I want to be thorough as I can. I want to be thorough as I can with y'all. So like you. You know what? Okay, here we go. Seleucid. All right. So you got Seleucid, that was over Persia. That region that the Greeks captured. Ptolemy was over Egypt. Lysimus over Asia Minor. And Cassandra was over Macedonia, right? So these were the 4 kings or four wings that was on the fowl. Okay, now this fowl, obviously, being that this nation, is Greece, we're gonna connect it and show you what bird is referencing to, right? So let's get back over to the lesson, right? Let's get back over there. I think that should be the table being set. That might be it. We might be ready to go on in now. All right, we might be ready to go on in now. Okay, so let's go to verse 8. Back in Daniel chapter 7, and we go into verse 8. All right. So, matter of fact, we'll read 6 again. After this I behold, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. You're also going to understand what those heads are. All right, the heads is those nations I showed you that those kings are over. Right. Verse 7. After this, I saw in the night visions. This is what he saw in a dream, right? And behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stomped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns, right? So this is your first attribute physically that you're going to get of this beast. It said this one got it got 10 horns on it, right? Verse 8, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horn plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. This little horn is America. All right, like I said, I did a video on this already, breaking this down. If you look at Revelation 17 and the beast on the channel, it's going to break down that this is America. And that these 10 horns, let's get them. Let's see if I can call them out, right? We got them right here. Luxembourg, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Spain, France, Switzerland, Britain, Sweden, and Denmark, right? Those are your 10 horns, right? Those are the 10 horns. America came up out of the three little horns that were plucked up by the roots, which were Spain, France, and Great Britain. If you know, North America is divided amongst those 3 nations. Those 3 nations colonized North America and parts of Central America and Mexico. That's why they speak Spanish in Mexico. That's why they speak French in Haiti. I mean in Haiti, but in Louisiana and in Canada they speak French, and in the United States they speak English because that country was born out of these 3 nations: Spain, France, and Great Britain. Right. Moving on. All right, moving on. And so, this nation speaking great things is Babylon, right? Now we're going to jump up a little further. So we just get a little scriptural revelation and breakdown. Verse 17, Daniel 7 and 17. These great beasts, the ones we just spoke of, which are 4 kings, which shall rise out of the earth. Now, scripturally, when you understand what this is, these are 4 kingdoms, 4 empires. This is something else we're going to recognize when we go into 2nd Esdras, that when it says kings, it means kingdoms in some place. It's not just one king. It says kingdoms, right? It's going to be kingdoms. It said these are, reading again, Daniel 7 and 17, these great beasts which are 4 kings which shall arise out of the earth. Verse 18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. This when the Mashiach come back. After all these 4 kingdoms rise, then the Mashiach will return and we will take the kingdom, right? Verse 19, then I would know the truth of the 4th beast, right? Which was diverse from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. So understand, it keeps talking about the iron because if you go back in the chapter, I think in chapter 3, it talks about this big old statue, right? And it has different body parts made of different alloys, different metals, and it's telling you that that this last beast got iron feet, which is stronger than the brass, than the gold, and the clay, and all the other alloys that this other statue is made out of. This fourth beast is diver and is stronger and is terrible. He's gonna stamp and residue whatever kingdom was in its way. Nobody was stopping this nation, right? And so that's why I keep talking about the iron, right? Continuing on, verse 20. And the 10 horns that were in his head. This is the fourth beast. The 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, which is America, and before whom 3 fell, which is Spain, France, and Great Britain, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. He was more powerful. America then rose up. America, brand new country, y'all, right? 500 something years old, and it rose up quick, right? It became a mighty strong military nation, and churning forth goods, having a successful slave empire, which I tell y'all before, we're not free, we're slaves, man. And the way they have, manipulated us to want to go to work behind the quote unquote American dream, right? And this is something they copied, and we're gonna go over when we get to this, when we go through this second Esdras 2. That template of a nation birthing and populating and growing in strength and wealth and military might, that is a template from ancient empire, right? Let's see, verse 21. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them, right? Verse 22, until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. So this is twofold, right? You got a situation with these that is happening in biblical Babylon when Daniel was there. You got one with the modern Babylon that's going on right now. And when this modern Babylon, which is America, is put down, right, this is going to be the beginning of the redemption of the Most High, making all the nations fight each other, right? Verse 23, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth. See, that's what we broke it down earlier. Which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. So whatever kingdom this is, right? And we know it's America. They have their influence, their hand is reach over the whole earth, right? Over 800 military bases. They didn't drop down from 900. Over 800 military bases all over the world. And they influence, they got interest, and they force it through their policy, through their covert ops, through their black ops, to get a foothold all over the world. This is the truth of the matter, right? Verse 24, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. Those are the 10 we just broke down, Luxembourg, Belgium, all of them, right? And an other shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. So this is again reiterating America being burst and subduing Spain, France, and Great Britain. Verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. So this is what's going on in America, right? They're killing us every day. Y'all see what it is. The ones that are not killing us, man, we getting worked to the bone, and we don't have the mental to understand, that what life is. That's one of the first things I learned when I got over here. Like, hold on, life is not even that hard. Like, hold on, Babylon making it real, real hard, real expensive just to live, and that's how they wear us out. Because like you figure, I got to pay this bill. I got to pay for this food, man. Food free. Man, food go off the ground. Huh? Let's think about it, right? You got these other countries, other nations, man, they living in a whole lot easier. They getting by day to day a whole lot easier. They might not have a big old Pontiac Superdome. They might not have a public works, trains and railroads and stuff like that, but they can live day to day easy and have everything they need, right? But they wear out these things, in Babylon. They're wearing us out, right? Think to change times and laws is, changing of the calendar, so we will be off of the calendar, so we don't know when our holy days is at, right? So we don't know when the new moon come in, right? We don't know when the vintage is coming. We knew all this stuff. When the fruits and vegetables would come in according to the times, what the seasons were. If we would know the first fruits would come in, 50 days after the waving of the sheaf. We would know this from our keeping our holy days. We wouldn't have to need no clock or no calendar. So they're like, let's change the calendar so they can throw us off, right? and they shall be given into his hand until a time, times, and dividing the time. This is a reference to 3.5 years, right? I told you it's double prophecy. So the first 3.5 years of the 7 years, I told y'all before, Most High give power to the 2 witnesses, right? That's the kingdom of Ephraim, Israel, southern kingdom of Judah, right? And we're going to prophesy, we're going to bring forth the truth, we're going to bring forth the revelation. And then at the last time and a half, or 3.5 years, give it into the enemy's hand. Doing what? The times of the great tribulation. And this is what we're coming up on right now, right? I'll praise your name, high Bashim Shai. Verse 26. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it even to the end. The dominion is going to be taken away from Babylon. That's what it's talking about. America, verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. So when Amashiach returns, he'll make his glorious return, right? This fourth beast is going to be reigning, and it's going to be the end of his reign when Amashiach gets back. That's what we got to know. And so the kingdom will be given back to us in its entirety, and we're going to start reigning over all the world, teaching them the law, statutes, and commandments, or else, right? All right, so let's go right quick to Revelation 17, just to make one point, and then we're going to jump into Second Esdras part 2. Second Esdras chapter 11, right? So we got Revelation chapter 17, and we're going to go to verse 13. It says, these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So this is referencing the 10 horns. Matter of fact, I'll go up one verse. Revelation 17 and verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings. Same thing. This is the same beast that Daniel saw, which have received no kingdom yet. Y'all remember that. These are 10 kings, I read them to you, that haven't received rulership, dominion as kings, as an empire, as the head of an empire yet, right? But receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So they're going to get a turn. So you got to know this. Within this beast, on this beast, which is inclusive of Babylon, America, and these 10 horns that I read you, it said the 10 kings haven't reigned yet. Why? Because America reigning right now. They got their hand and their power, their dominion all over the whole earth. So these 10 kings, which is basically the first 10 countries of the EU, minus Italy, they're having got their dominion as parts of the head or face of this Roman Empire, right? The fourth beast, as we know, is Rome. All right, let's know this, let's understand it, right? So let's get on into Second Esdras right now, right? And let's start getting some of this good spiritual food. Bless you in the high by Shimshai. All right, Second Esdras chapter 11, verse 1. And we're going to be jumping in back and forth, 11 and 12, because 11 is basically the dream, and then 12 is basically the revelation given to Esdras by the angel. So we're going to jump back and forth as we break it down, right? First, I'm going to start off, I'm going to go right to 12 and read verse 11, just so you can know what's going on. We set the table. We're talking about the fourth beast that has 10 heads and 7 heads and 10 horns, right? And another little horn came up from the 3 that were plucked up from the roots. So we're going to read 2 Esdras chapter 12 and verse 11. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea. Now we talked about what the sea is, right? Sea is all the nations. So the eagle is one nation that came up out of the sea, is the king. So 2 Esdras 12 and 11, the eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision by thy brother Daniel. Right? So what is this? This eagle is metaphorically representing the same kingdom that fourth beast metaphorically was representing when the Most High showed a vision to Daniel. You understand? So let's read the next verse. Verse 12, but it was not expounded unto him, therefore now I declare unto thee. So he said, the Most High said, I didn't show Daniel everything about this fourth beast and about this kingdom, but I'm going to break it down further to you, and I'm going to show you that this beast, when I break it down to you, I'm letting you know off top, it's an eagle, right? So let's identify off top what the eagle is according to scripture, right? What the eagle is, right? I'll praise your name high by Shimshai. We got Obadiah. Obadiah. Chapter 1 and verse 1. The vision of Obadiah thus saith the Most High Power concerning Edom. Right? So he's Obadiah, the prophecy he's breaking down. It's talking about Edom. What does it say? We have heard a rumor from Ahiah, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen, the non-Israelites. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee, who, Edom, small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Verse 3, the pride of thine heart had deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? So if you understand, there's a certain animal that lives up high in the caves and the clefts of the rock, right? Verse 4, though thou, who, Edom, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Most High. The eagle likes to watch his prey from up high, right? Watch everything from up high, right? So Edom exalts itself as an eagle. You know, I did a video. I told y'all a lesson. If you look at every European nation, America, Russia, they all have the eagle, right, as their emblem on their flag, as a coat of arms, as on their currency. They always got eagles all the time, right? A lot of them got two-headed eagles on them too. All right, so this is identifying off the top. And we get a little bit more about this eagle in Job, right? Come on, this is Job 39 and verse 27. Doth the eagle mount up at thy command and make her nest up on high? Can you, like, eagles, these animals, like, stubborn, like they don't want to listen. Like, you can't, like, treat them like a doggy, you know what I'm saying, and train that dude up and make them hop, jump, lay down, roll over. They don't listen. They stubborn, right? And they make their nest up on high, right? Verse 28, she dwelleth and abideth in the rock, upon the crack of the rock and the strong place. This is why Esau want to build these skyscrapers, so they can be up high. This is their culture and the character of who they are when they lived in what? The mountains in Petra, right? When they lived in the Caucasus Mountains. We're going to go into all this, right? This is the culture and the heritage of these people as the eagle, right? Verse 29, from thence, where? Up in the mountains, she seeketh the prey, and her eyes behold it far off. This is why Esau got all these satellites in the sky from up high, where he can behold his prey. So look down, watch the world, watch what everyone's going on, watching their prey. Who's their prey? Us, right? Jacob, right? Verse 30, her young ones also suck up blood, and where the slain are, there is he. Man, that's too crystal, right? It says where the dead carcass at, that's where the eagle gonna be. Probably because he got something to do with it too, right? So we seeing off top, right, that this beast that is shown to Esdras is the same beast. It's the same breakdown of the same kingdom that was shown to Daniel as a different beast, right? So let's read 2 Esdras chapter 11 and verse 1. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle. So we know this is a kingdom, and we already know that kingdom as the eagle is Edom. So this is so-called white man, right? Which had 12 feathered wings. Remember I tell you about them feathers on that fowl from the Grecian Empire, with Alexander the Greek? So this telling you got 12 of them. So this should tell you this 12 kings right here, right? And 3 heads, 3 countries of heads of dominion of this empire, of this nation. You're going to have 3 heads of dominion, right? We'll break that down further, right? Verse 2. And I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth, and all the winds of the air blew on her and were gathered together. So this eagle had dominion over the whole earth, running the whole earth. Nobody can stop her. Nobody can contend with her, right? This is showing you the might and the power and the dominion over the earth that this eagle had. I got to get these precepts. It's popping in my head, right? We know this Esau, right? Let's look at the blessing of Esau, right? To testify how this eagle was able to stretch her wings over the whole earth. How many wings? 12 wings, right? This is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 28. 38. Genesis chapter 27 and verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Because what? He had sold his blessing, sold his birthright unto Jacob, and then he tried to come steal it when he knew he had already sold it to Jacob. And then he got mad when Jacob was advised by his mother to go in there and get that blessing. And so now he crying to his daddy, give me a blessing anyway. He already sold it, right? Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. So this is your blessing. You're gonna be all over the earth. It ain't gonna be because it's inherently given to you, but this is where you're gonna be all over the earth, right? Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live. So you're gonna be dwelling all over the earth by your sword, by your military might, by your ability to war, right? Alexander the Greek. Right? The Roman Empire, right? Known as the fiercest battle machine, war machine in the world, right? And shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So we're reading about the dominion that Esau gets, and when he's actually reigning over his brother Jacob, right? So it's showing you, right, how this eagle was able to have dominion all over the earth by the blessing of the Most High. This is the Most High that gave this man this authority, this war tactics, this warfare that's just above all nations. You know, your top 10 elite Marines and snipers, 9 of them are going to be nations of Edom, guaranteed, right? They got military Marines and Royal Marines and, you know, all type of elite Spetsnaz, you know, type of military cliques and, you know, arms of their military all over these Edomite countries, man. And that's what the Most High gave them. That's their blessing, right? Verse 3. And I beheld, 2 Esdras 11:3. And I beheld, I looked, and out of her feathers there grew other contrary feathers, and they became little feathers and small. So out of the feathers, which means out of this bloodline, out of this nation, is going to be some kings, some feathers, some kings that rise up. They're going to be contrary to the idea and the culture and the policy of Rome, right? Of this nation. Some are going to raise up and be different. They're going to run the country different. They're going to do things different, right? Verse 4, but her heads, remember, had 3 heads on the eagle, right? But her heads were at rest. The head in the midst was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue. So they weren't the face of this Roman Empire at this time. They're resting right now, right? And to bring out the understanding, just to let you know, this middle head, that's the greater, is Babylon, America. We'll bring it out. We'll show you, right? Verse 5, moreover, I beheld, I looked, and lo, the eagle flew with her feathers and reigned upon the earth and over them that dwelt therein. And I saw that all things under heaven were subject unto her, and no man spake against her, no, not one creature upon the earth. So this telling you the dominion of this empire, nobody had a time to run up on them, right? If you know about the Roman Empire, right? When it came up, when it started, and we're about to go into it right now, nobody could contend with them. They was mopping everybody up. That war machine was unstoppable, right? Let's get a precept, Revelation 17, right quick, right? Revelation 17 and verse 18. It says, and the woman which thou sawest. Now understand, this woman is the same, in the same position and understanding as the little horn in Daniel chapter 7. A lot of people don't see it and don't understand and think so, but that's who she is. There is no little horn in Revelation 17, and there is no woman in Revelation in Daniel chapter 7. They're synonymous, but they're expounded on differently. To Daniel, America was a little horn. To John the Revelator, America was this whore, mystery Babylon, full of abomination, filthiness, and whoredom, right? Abomination of the earth, right? And it says, what does it say about this woman? Revelation 17 and 18. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So this is telling you over and over and over, expounding whatever kingdom that y'all know is reigning over all the kings of the earth. who got the most dominion all over earth, who in everybody business, everybody backyard, right? Doing whatever they want to do. That's who this whore is. That's who this great city is. That's where everybody want to take their goods. Everybody want to go to. Everybody want to follow. Everybody want to emulate. Everybody want their swag and style from this place. It's America, Babylon. All right. Reading on. All right. Verse 7. And I beheld, and lo, the eagle rose upon her talons, stood up on her feet, claws, and spake to her feathers, saying, Watch not all at once. Sleep everyone in his own place and watch by course. So it's saying we're all not going to reign all at the same time. All these branches I'm seeing, all these rulers, all these kings, everybody not going to be reigning all at the same time. Everybody going to take their turn so this dominion lasts for a long time. So everybody chill out. That's what's being spoken right here. Verse 9. I read verse 8 again. Watch not all at once. Sleep everyone in his own place and watch by course. But let their heads be preserved for the last. So the three heads are going to get their turn to reign at the last. So that would be the times that we're in right now, the last days. This Roman Empire, this eagle is being expounded on, and the agenda of this people is being brought out right now under these three heads that are active. And we're going to break these three heads down. I'll tell you already, the one in the middle is America, aka Babylon, right? But let's break down the watch right quick. Glory to the Most High. Jeremiah. Let's get Jeremiah. No. Ezekiel. Get Ezekiel and get the watch right quick. All right. Ezekiel chapter 33. And we just go and start at verse 3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land. We got to start at verse 1. Ezekiel 33 and verse 1. Again, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, When I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman. So this is a position of the military to watch out, right? This is what the eagle's telling his feathers in the heads. All y'all not going to watch. I mean, all y'all not going to have a dominion. All y'all not going to reign by your military power at the same time, right? Because when you're in a watch, it's because you're expecting war and you want to be ready for war, right? I just finished reading the verse. Verse 3. If when he seeth the sword, when he see the army come upon the land, he blow the trumpet, right? Today the memorial blowing the trumpet. We blowing the trumpets now and warn the people. So you need a watchman. When you're blessed to war by the sword and you warring all over the whole earth, you need a watchman. So the eagle saying, hey man, no, all y'all not going to have y'all turn as military mice and rulers at the same time. Okay. Y'all going to watch at certain times, right? That's all it's saying. And the heads, the three heads they're going to have their turn at the end, the last part. Let's bring a precept for that too. All right. This second Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, the dividing of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Right? What is the it? Let's read it. Verse 8. And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. So when Esau came out, Jacob was holding on to his heel, right? Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So if the it is the world, you got the world of Esau, his dominion, his reign, that's going to come to an end. And when it comes to an end, Jacob is going to have his world start, and it's going to begin then. So this is telling you, mind you, the king of Jacob, the king of Israel is Yasharallah. It's Yeshai, Salakia. So when he comes, Esau is going to be reigning, right? So this is important to understand, because this eagle, same eagle was as the fourth beast that was shown to Daniel, we have to chronologize from the inception of this nation coming into existence all the way up to when the Mashiach gets back. There's no other empire that's reigning. In between there, it's not stopping early and there's just nobody reigning. This nation is lucky. This nation is going to reign all the way up to when Yeshua gets back. So this eagle, the way that is divided into 12 feathered wings, 3 heads, and contrary feathers, is going to break down kings and empires all the way up to the return of Yeshua, right? So this is what we're going over. And mind you, this is going to tell you again the timeline of when Babylon America is destroyed and how that's going to be a gap between when Babylon destroyed and when the Messiah returned. It's not going to be at the same time, right? This is what we're going into next, right? So, verse 10. Matter of fact, let's just jump ahead. Let's jump into verse 12 because we just got all that breakdown. Let's go to verse 12 and go over some things that we already read and the angel's going to be revealing to him, right? So let's go to verse 4. Second Esdras, chapter 12 and verse 4. Lo, this hast thou done unto me, in that thou searchest out the ways of the highest. He like telling the Most High, this what you did to me. You didn't just show me something, right? In fact, let me go up one verse. Second Esdras 12 and 3. And I saw and beheld, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle was burnt. This is the end thing that's going to happen to this eagle. The whole eagle was burnt, so that the earth was in great fear. Then awaked I out of the trouble and trance of my mind, and from great fear, and said unto my spirit, Lo, this hast thou done unto me. So Ezra waking up scared, like, what in the world did the Most High just show me? Mind you, this is in medieval times. The stuff that he saw was from present times. F-35s and bombers and military, weaponry that he don't know nothing about. Bullets, bombs, tanks, all of that, right? Like, what in the world you just showed me, Aya? Man, I'm tripping, right? Second Esdras 12 and 4. Lo, this hast thou done unto me, in that thou searchest out the ways of the highest. Lo, yet am I weary in my mind, and very weak in my spirit, and little strength is there in me, for the great fear wherewith I was affrighted this night. Man, he said, I'm scared of what you just showed me, man. I'm tripping right now. Right? Verse 6. Therefore will I now beseech the highest, that he will comfort me unto the end. Verse 7. And I said, Ahiah, that bears rule, if I have found grace before thy sight, and if I am justified with thee before many others, and if my prayer indeed be come up before thy face, comfort me then, and show me thy servant the interpretation and plain difference of this fearful vision, that thou mayest perfectly comfort my soul. You understand what he's saying? He's like, I'm thankful you showed me, but I pray you tell me what it means, right? So I can get some comfort. Verse 9, for thou hast judged me worthy to show me the last days. So this tells you, let's say them three heads gonna raise up in the last. So the three heads gonna what? Be preserved for the last. This shows you that this prophecy endures and brings us all the way into the last days, right? Verse 10, and he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision. Verse 11, the eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom, which was seen in the vision by thy brother Daniel. We read this before, right? This is the beginning of the interpretation of the dream. But it was not expounded unto him, who, Daniel. Therefore, now I declare it unto you. Behold, the days will come that there shall rise up a kingdom upon earth, and it shall be feared above all the kingdoms that were before it. This is talking about Rome right here. This is not talking about Babylon America yet. It's talking about Rome. Rome's inception, Rome's birth. Now let's listen to what it says. In the same nation, kingdom, in the same shall 12 kings reign, one after another. Right? So we'll stop right there. And we'll go back at the verse, go back to 2 Esdras 11. And we're going to pick up at 10. And it says, and I beheld, and lo, the voice went not out of her heads, but from the midst of her body. So there's a driving force and influence that's not in the heads on this body. It's not in the wings, not in the contrary feathers. It's coming from the midst of the body. What's in the midst of your body, right? Let's get what's in the midst of your body. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 15. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. So there's a spirit behind what's ordering and directing this beast what to do, right? It's a spirit behind that. What spirit is that? Let's get some more on that. Revelation 17, right? Revelation 17, and we'll get 11. Matter of fact, let's get 10 and 11. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. That one that cometh is the 10 horns. Verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7. So it's telling you there's one entity that's in common with all the 7 beasts, and he's the 8th. He's the 8th and is of the 7 and goeth into perdition. Now, when you see that, you already know that's eternal separation from the Most High. There's one spirit that we know is going to go to that. It's Satan, right? He's going to go into perdition, be separated from the Most High, locked up, right? All right? And so, this is the spirit that's behind the speaking from the midst of the body, telling all of them what to do, when you're going to reign, when you're going to be in authority, when you're going to have power, right? Because the scriptures say, the Most High said a ruler over every nation. This is the spirit that's over this nation, telling this nation when it's going to rule, when it's going to reign, when it's going to watch, right? So let's go. 2 Corinthians 11:11. And I numbered her contrary feathers. Remember, there were contrary feathers. And behold, there were 8 of them. So you got 12 feathered wings. So these are wings with feathers on them. And 3 heads, which are going to be dominions, right? That are part of this eagle down the road because they're preserved until the last, right? And then you got contrary feathers, and behold, there are 8 of them, right? Bless your name, Maya. We're going to break all this down right now, right? So now let's look at them. Verse 12, and I looked, and behold, on the right side there arose one feather and reigned over all the earth. So this is a king, right? This is the inception of the Roman Empire. We're going to start going over. This first king is Julius Caesar, all right? Julius Caesar began his reign in 96 AD, and he reigned till 98 AD. All right, died when he was 67 years old. All right, he's the one that was fighting certain wars for Rome. Rome wasn't established as an empire yet, but he was the one that was getting it going and getting the fame going, putting notice out that we are forced to be reckoned with, right? So it says again, he's a feather. So showing you as this is one that first emperor. Mind you, how many of them is it? 12. So the first one is verse 12 again. 2 Corinthians 11 and 12 says, and I looked and behold, on the right side there arose one feather and reigned over all the earth. Remember, all these feathers you're about to read is telling you on the right side for a reason. All right, just remember that as well. And reigned over all the earth. Verse 13, and so it was that when it rained, the end of it came, right? This king, Julius Caesar, he died, and the place thereof appeared no more. So the next following stood up and reigned and had a great time. So the next person reigned after him was who? Caesar Augustus, right? And he had a great time because he reigned for a long time. Matter of fact, let's get him out the scripture. Let's get him out the scripture. Caesar Augustus, right? This is Luke. Showing you the timeline of this nation. When he got the dominion over Jacob, he was ruling over us. This is the time showing you right here. He's ruling over us, right? Luke chapter 2 and verse 1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. He was able to tax the whole world because of the ruling and reigning over the whole world. You understand, right? So, moving forward, verse 14. And it happened that when it rained, this feather, the end of it came also like as the first, so that it appeared no more. So it rained, had a time, and then he died, right? Then came there a voice unto it and said, hear thou that thou hast borne rule over the earth so long. So this king had a long reign. This I say unto thee, before thou beginnest to appear no more. This is what was being spoken to this king. Verse 17, there shall none after thee attain unto thy time, neither unto the half thereof. So when we look at how long Caesar Augustus reigned, he reigned from 27. Hold on, let me get it. You know what? Let me break that back down. Hold on. Caesar, Salakia. Caesar started his reign in 46 BC. Julius Caesar from 46 BC to 44 BC. So he reigned 2 years. And mind you, the numbers go down because this is BC. So 46 BC to 44 BC, this 2 years as the numbers go down to AD, and then they'll start going in a positive manner. And he died when he was 55. Salakia, right? Make that clear. Julius Caesar started reigning at 46 BC. He was fighting wars before that as a general in the Roman army. As early as 48 BC, he was fighting wars, but he didn't start to reign as Caesar till 46 BC until 44 BC. And he ended up dying when he was 55 years old. Caesar Augustus started reigning at 27 BC, and he reigned all the way to 14 AD, right? So he reigned over 40 years. This is why it says, the voice that spoke to him said in verse 16, hear thou that thou hast borne rule over the earth so long. This I say unto thee, before thou beginnest to appear no more, there shall none after thee, none of the kings after him, none of the feathers after him, attain unto thy time, neither unto the half thereof. No one's going to reign as long as you from this day forward, right? So that's Caesar Augustus. Now, or also, this is Tiberius. So let's get Tiberius out of the scripture, right? Luke chapter 3. He's all in the scripture, right? These are the people that are reigning when Mashiach was put to death, right? This is Luke chapter 3, verse 1. Now in the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, Pontius Pilate being governor of Judea, and Herod being tetrarch of Galilee, and his brother Philip, tetrarch of Iturea, and the region of Trachonitis, and Lysanias, the tetrarch of Abilene. So this is showing you just during the time Hamashiach being on the earth, the apostles on earth, learning, Yeshua being witnesses to his passion, to his miracles, to everything he taught them, was during the time of Tiberius, Augustus, and Tiberius, right? Now, Tiberius, he started to reign after Augustus, 14 AD to 37 AD. And he died at 77 years old. Caesar Augustus, I want to leave out. He was the founder. He's the one who actually founded and established Rome. We are power. We are empire. We making moves. You better respect us. You know, we're established. This is who we are. Caesar Augustus. He the one that established that in his reign from 27 BC to 14 AD. And he died when he was 75. Founder of the empire. Then Tiberius, being the third emperor, reigned from 14 AD to 37 AD. And he died when he was 77 years old. And mind you, when the scripture says that a house against itself shall not stand, you got to understand these kings, and as we go through them, these dudes is killing each other back to back. It was some weirdo stuff, like somebody be jealous, somebody want to be in charge, they'll stage a coup, somebody's wife will poison them. It's some crazy stuff. They kept stabbing each other in the back to back, just so they can be king. And then as soon as they get in, somebody kill them. Then that person who killed them will get in, and then somebody killed them. That happened all through this time. We're about to read it right now, right? Matter of fact, let's jump back over to 2 Ezra chapter 12 and get the same bring out, right? 2 Ezra chapter 12, verse 14. In the same shall 12 kings reign one after another. These are the kings we go over. We just went over 3. Whereof the second shall begin to reign and shall have more time than any of the 12. We just read that. It was Caesar Augustus, right? And this, verse 16, and this doth the 12 wings signify which thou sawest, telling you what the wings are of these kings, right? Verse 17, as for the voice which thou hearest spake, and that thou sawest not to go out from the heads, but from the midst of the body thereof, this is the interpretation, that after the time of the kingdom there shall rise great strivings, and it shall stand in peril of falling. Nevertheless, it shall not then fall, but shall be restored again to his beginning. So this is giving you the understanding that how the spirit was telling them, and them like, not everybody watch at the same time, that these wings are going to do their thing first. Then the contrary, as we go through, the contrary feathers, they're going to do their thing. And then there's going to be a period where the 3 heads are going to wake up. And that's going to have their time to be restored to their beginning glory and even exceeded, right? This is also going to testify when I told you about how Babylon, if you know their military, right? Their military is made up of all nations because Babylon is supposed to be a quote unquote free country, right? And means their military is open to all nations, not just one nationality of people. And this is how the military grew so quick and so strong, so swiftly, right? What the Romans did, they would conquer nations and they would employ the peasants or the inhabitants of that conquering nation and incorporate them into their army, right? This is how Paul was a Roman. He's an Israelite all day, but this is how he's in the Roman army because this is what Rome did. When they conquered nations, they say, hey, all right, you want to be a part of the army? You part of Rome. This is this is the what is that term they use? This is the ideology of Rome, right? Let's get that right quick. Dealing with Paul, right? And even Cornelius, right? This is how he's able to be in the Roman army, and if people think that Cornelius is a Gentile, you're mistaken, right? Cornelius is not a Gentile, man. Cornelius is an Israelite, right? And this is how he's a part of this army. Matter of fact, we'll read him first, right? Acts chapter 10, verse 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band. He's in the Italian Roman army, right? He's in the Roman army. Let's get Paul right quick. No. That's in Philippians, right? Philippians. I'll praise you, I by shine. Let's see. Man, I'm not. There's a precept that I'm looking for, right? That Paul describes that he was hold on. Is it back here? Acts? Well, he's breaking down that he's a soldier of Sicily, right? Of Sicily. And let's get that. You know, Paul, man, he walked with Rome. Paul was rocking with Rome heavy. Paul was rocking with Rome heavy, right? Matter of fact, where's that right here? And this is before his name was changed to Paul. His name was Saul, right? Let me see. We're not gonna read this yet. Okay, we'll just read about him being a soldier, right? This is Acts chapter 7 and verse 56. This is when he's about to stone Stephen. And said, behold, I see the heavens open and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of Ahiah. Then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears and ran upon him with one accord and cast him out of the city and stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their clothes at the young man's feet, whose name was Saul. And they stoned Stephen, calling upon the Most High and saying, Master Yeshua, receive my spirit. And he kneeled down and cried with a loud voice, Master, lay not this sin to their charge. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. Because understand, this is when they stoned him, and Saul standing right there because he was persecuting all these believers that were coming into the faith. Him being a Levite, knowing the law, he was thinking they was blasphemy. He thinking they was being disobedient. So he thinking he was doing the right thing, right? Not gonna spend too much time looking for this because we got to keep going. I already took up some time looking for that other bring out, right? So we're just gonna move forward. All right. And so we're going back to 2nd Esdras, and we were in chapter 12, and we were reading at the voices, right? Okay, so we'll read 2nd Esdras chapter 12, verse 18. And after that, the time of that kingdom, there shall arise great strivings, and it shall stand in peril of falling. Nevertheless, it shall not fall. Then It shall not then fall, but shall be restored again to its beginning. So, just to bring out, this will be the time of the dark ages, right? Let's keep going. And whereas thou sawest the 8 small under feathers sticking to her wings, this is the interpretation. So remember, I told you it was 8 contrary feathers, right? This is what he's talking about, those, right? Verse 20, that in him there shall arise 8 kings whose time shall be but small and their years swift, right? Now, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We got to finish going over these 12 kings, right? Let's finish going over the 12 kings. After Tiberius reigned in 37 AD, died at 77. You had Caligula, right? 4th king. And he started reigning at 37 AD to 41 AD, 4-year reign, and died at 28, right? Somebody killed him. Something crazy happened to him. That's how it goes. Then you had Claudius, who took over after that man died and started reigning at 41 AD and reigned all the way to 54 AD. He got 13 years at the joint, right? And died when he was 63. And he's in Acts. Claudius, right? Acts 18. Chapter 18. Right? In verse 2, Claudius. We start at 1. Acts 18 and 1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome, and came unto them. Right? So this is another Caesar that's being testified of in the scripture, right? Caligula, right? He's the 4th. Now the 5th, that was Claudius, Salakia. Now we going on to 6th one will be Nero, right? And Nero, he started reigning from 54 AD to 68 AD. He got good 14 years of the deal, right? And he died at 31. He died super young, right? Died super young. Then you had a man called Galba. He's the 7th one. And he only reigned 7 months, y'all. This is about to be a real crazy situation right here. He only reigned 7 months, and he came into power at 68 AD. If you know him right now, Nero started the persecution of, that's what he told the Jews got to leave Rome, and they're starting to come up on and attack Jerusalem, right? 7-year siege that went on from 66 AD to 73 AD. 7 years went by. Nero is in power to the 68 year AD. And then Galba, and in the year 68, going into the 69th year, he reigns for 7 months and he dies. He gets killed. He's 70 years old, right? And he's the 7th king. The 8th king is a man named Otto, right? He committed suicide. He killed himself. He killed himself, right? He barely reigned any time. I think 3 months. And he died in the 69th year as well. And then the 69th year, Vitellius, who's the 9th king, he's the one that killed Otto. So Vitellius, who's the 9th king, killed the 8th king Otto, and he reigned in his stead, and he started reigning in the 69th year, and he got killed in that same 69th year at the age of 54. This stuff was crazy, y'all. This stuff was crazy. And then Vespasian, right? The one that's credited, with coming against Israel, right? Vespasian, he's the 10th. He comes in the same 69th year and reigns all the way to the 79th year AD. And he dies at 70 years old. Vespasian, right? And he came with his son Titus, right? Titus will be the next emperor, the 11th. And he reigned from 79 AD to 81 AD. Only a 2-year reign. Then he dies at 41. Somebody probably killed him too. And then Domitianus. He's the 12th feather. He's the 12th emperor, 12th king of this Roman Empire. He reigned from 81 AD to 96 AD. And he died at 44. So those are your 12 kings, all right? Those are 12 kings. Now, is this the end of the Roman Empire? No. This is just what the scriptures wanted to expound on and break down of the inception of this nation and when it was at its height. After this, the nation started to deteriorate. Okay? Now, there's a couple more kings, like you had Nerva, he was the 13th. He reigned from 96 AD to 98 AD, 2-year reign, 67, died at 67. He's the 13th one. And then Trajan, he was the 14th one, right? And he reigned for a little while too. But then you had Hadrian after him too. So what we want to look at now is what happens going forward. Mind you, we start talking about the 8 contrary feathers. So you got, we're going to break this down right now. Let's do the 8 contrary feathers, y'all. This is going to get a little deep. This is was the hardest part of the study for me, y'all, because this is history. So I'm digging through history, trying to put these pieces into place of, what these feathers are. And remember, I told you, we're going to go right now. Sometimes a king means a kingdom and not a specific king. We just read about feathers and wings that were actually kings. These contrary feathers are going to take a different twist. So let's go on back into 2nd Esdras 11, and we'll go right back to after Tiberius reigned in chapter 18, verse 18, and we'll start at 19. So 2nd Esdras 11, verse 19. So went it with all the residue one after another, all the 12 feathers, as that every one reigned, and then appeared no more. They all had they turned and they died. Then I beheld, and lo, in the process of time, the feathers that followed stood up on the right side, that they might rule also, and some of them ruled, but within a while they appeared no more. I got to break that down. We got to keep moving forward. These are the 8 feathers. Some ruled, but within a while they appeared no more. For some of them were set up, but ruled not. Some of them was declared to be rulers, but got killed so quick they didn't get to reign. That's what we read about some of them right there, right? In the year 69, all those got set up. They really didn't get a chance to reign. So now, verse 22, it says, after this, after the 12 kings, I looked, and behold, the 12 feathers appeared no more, nor the 2 little feathers. So there's 2 little feathers that were of the contrary 8 that didn't appear anymore. They didn't die. We're going to tell you what happened to them. But the 12 already had their reign and gone. Whether they had the long reigns or the short reigns, they gone. They done, right? So we done took care of those, right? Verse 23, and there was no more upon the eagle's body, but 3 heads that rested, and 6 little wings. So the 6 little wings is the 8 contrary feathers. Those wings and feathers are the same thing. So we can't get confused right now. That remain, them 3 heads, we ain't spoke on them yet. And these 6 little wings are basically the 8 contrary feathers. And it tell you 2 of the little feathers, they didn't see them no more. Right? Now they didn't die. I'm going to explain to you what those 2 little feathers, which came from the 8, they separated from the 8. And that's why it's only 6 little wings left, 6 little feathers left. Y'all understand? Verse 24. Then saw I also that the 2 little feathers divided themselves from the 6, and remained under the head that was upon the right side of the right side, for the 4 continued in their space. Y'all gotta understand what he just said. The 2 feathers that I told you that separate themselves from the 6, they went and hopped up under the eagle that's on the right side, the head that's on the right side of the eagle, and said, we want to wait. Remember, we're going to wait and let our watch, our dominion come into play when we get up under this eagle head over here, which is a kingdom. You understand, right? Read 24 again. Then saw I also that the 2 little feathers divided themselves from the 6, and remained under the head that was upon the right side, for the 4 continued in their place. So there's 2 that went over there, basically went into the future time of the reign of that right-headed eagle. And there's 4 that's going to still stay and wait for their turn to come up in the process of time of what we just went through. That's like, all right, we're up next, right? Let's tell you what happened with them. Let me see. Let me make sure. I don't want to jump ahead. Okay, verse 25. And I beheld, and lo, the feathers that were under the wing thought to set up themselves to have the rule. And I beheld, and lo, there was one set up, but surely it appeared no more. And the second was sooner away than the first. So these are 2 feathers that separated from the 6 and said, man, we want to reign, right? and one set up themselves shortly, but it appeared no more. As you hear in the verbiage of how we read, and when it appears no more, it means they died. And then it says, and the second was sooner away than the first. Let's jump to verse 12, chapter 12, to get the same breakdown. Then I'll tell you what this is, right? All right, so we're going to go to, okay, so 2nd Esdras 12. I'll just read 20 again. That in him there shall rise 8 kings, whose time shall be but small, and their years swift. Verse 21. And 2 of them, just the 2 we just read last chapter, and 2 of them shall perish, the middle time approaching. 4 shall be kept until their end begin to approach, but 2 shall be kept until the end. So what it just said, the 2 of them shall perish, and it's giving you a time frame. They're gonna perish as the middle time is approaching. The middle time frame. What is the middle time? That's another term. That's a biblical term for the Middle Ages. All right. They're gonna die before the Middle Ages starts, but right before the Middle Ages start, these 2 kings are gonna perish. 4 shall be kept until their end begin to approach. So 4. They're going to have, then there's going to be 4, which are going to break down. They're going to live. They're not going to have a short reign. They're going to get their length of time of reigning. And then it says, but 2 shall be kept unto the end. So we know the 3 heads are going to get kept to the end. These are the 2 wings that went up under the head that's on the eagle on the right side. And they're up under them, waiting for their time to reign under that head of authority of this eagle, right? Y'all sticking with me. Now, let's break down what those 2 heads are. Mind you, those 2 wings. So the 2 wings that left the 6, right? Let's break that down. Mind you, the empire started to deteriorate after Domitianus died in 96 AD, and he's 44 years old. What happened is, in 286, Diocletian, right? One of the emperors, he splits Rome. He's the first one to say, man, this empire has gotten too big. And the turmoil and the civil strife they were having, the military quarrels of who's going to be in charge, all the people killing each other back to back. Look, let's just separate it so people can be satisfied and we can run this a little bit. Maybe we can find some peace. Maybe we can find some common ground. So he was the first one to decide, let's split up the kingdom. And you had the Western Rome Empire, you had the Eastern Roman Empire. Of course, Western Roman Empire ruling out of Rome, Eastern Roman Empire ruling out of modern day Istanbul, which was renamed Constantinople after Constantine. And we'll get to him in a second, right? And so this empire was divided. And then it came back together. Then it was divided again into 3 parts. Then it came back again. And then the last time it was divided by, let me see, in 395. That was the final time it split for good, right? And the Roman Empire ended up ending at 476 AD. This is just history, y'all. And the emperor is Romulus at this time. Not Romulus from the inception. Romulus and Remus. This is another man called Romulus. And the empire is ending at 476 AD. This will be the Eastern Empire. The Western Empire fell before that, right? It fell a little bit before that. But as the prophecy is breaking down, these are the 2 wings, the Eastern and the Western Roman Empire. They tried to reign separately, and they both perished and went away. Their reign ended, and it was no more, right? So mind you, before this empire and these 2 wings lost their power, Constantine, remember he ruled around the time of the Council of Nicaea, 325 AD. It says Constantine set the capital of Rome. He set it in Byzantium, which is a province that's in the area of that has the Constantinople inside of it, and renamed it Constantinople after himself. Istanbul. Before it was Istanbul, that's what it was, Constantinople. And he set the capital over there in 330 AD, right? So at 476 BC, the eastern part of the Roman Empire is called the Byzantine Empire. And these 2 feathers, they're done. Now Christian Byzantium is taking authority. And you got certain Roman empires after that. Even before this, like uh Severus Septem. Well, how you say the man's name? Septivertus. Um, I forget how to say his name. Well, he's Israelite brother, right? The man that September was named after. September Severus, something like that, right? He's a Roman general, rock solid, and soldier, right? Trying to get Rome going, you know what I'm saying? But at this time, it's other people from other nations that are still rising up to be emperors because they started mingling themselves when they conquered a nation. This is what happened. So, um, when this nation is taken down, the Byzantine Empire gets established. The Moors come over. The I forget what it's called. The pass that connects Morocco and Spain. They start coming up as Moors, conquering and being classified as soldiers of the Byzantine Empire. Right? You got Berbers as well. This is a multinational, multicultural army that comes into the religion of reigning under the Byzantine Empire. Now, this is the end of Rome, but it tells you that Rome would be born again. Let's read it again. It says, Second Esdras 12 and 18, that after the time of that kingdom there shall arise great strivings. This is when the kingdom was split, and it shall stand in peril of falling. Nevertheless, it shall not fall, but shall be restored again to its beginning. So when the kingdom is put down in 476 AD, their kingdom is shut down as far as out of Eastern Roman Empire from 476 to 1483 AD. A lot of these people from this empire, which were the Romans, this is when they went up into the Caucasus Mountains between the Caspian and the Black Seas, and in the land masses of modern day Georgia, southern Russia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan, right? And established their nation as Khazaria, right? They established their nation. This happened around 670. They became an authorized country, and was, they gained their fame and their fortune through charging people for coming through to trade and traveling through their lands. Because they're a landmass between two seas. So it's like you got to go all the way around the Black Sea or all the way around the Caspian Sea, or you just pay these dudes to come through their land, right? They were still born to war with the sword, right? Khazarians. They are of Edom. Khazar means Caesar. That's what Khazar means, right? And these are the modern people that call themselves Jewish people today. All right, this is where they come from. The information is out. It's even being spoken of in the UN meetings that these people have no bloodline tied to the land. Right. This is where these of the Eastern Byzantine Empire and some of the Western Roman Empire migrated to, start getting up over there and lived there for 1,000 years, up until 1483. They lived up there, right? Now that would be the two. So those are two feathers. When the Roman Empire split, Eastern and Western, those are two feathers. Now you got the four, right? That stayed in their place. It's time for them to reign, mind you. What we just broke out to you wasn't two individual kings. It was two kingdoms. The 8 contrary feathers are two kingdoms. Contrary because they weren't trying to be one nation anymore, one country. They had to divide it into two so people can be satisfied and stop killing each other. So they're contrary to the one Rome, like modern day one China policy is like the one Rome policy. And it's like, nah, we got to do it like this. So that's what they're contrary. So the next 4 kingdoms are going to be contrary as well to what Rome originally is. And we're going to break down what that happened. The next rising up of Rome, of this eagle, is the Holy Roman Empire. All right? The Holy Roman Empire started in 800 AD, right? Started 800 AD. And we're going to describe the 4 feathers that stuck in their place to keep on reigning next. What does it say? 2nd Esdras chapter 12 and verse 20. That in him there should rise 8 kings whose time shall be small and their years swift. And 2 of them shall perish. That's the Eastern and Western Roman empires. The middle time approaching, which is the Middle Ages. So when the Middle Ages hit, it says 4 shall be kept until their end begin to approach, but 2 shall be kept unto the field. So these 4, we about to break them down right now. Right? And let's go back to chapter 11 to get at these 4. Right? Okay, so the 4. Okay, so we just read from chapter 23, 2nd Esdras 11:23. And there was no more upon the eagle's body, but 3 heads that rested and 6 little wings. Then saw I also that the 2 little feathers divided themselves from the 6 and remained under the head that was upon the right side, for the 4 continue in their space. So let's break down the 4. What the 4 are, and let's get a precept, and we read it already, but I want to show you right now that kings are kingdoms. All right, we read this precept earlier. I just want to make sure you understand. I'm not making this what I want it to be, right? You had some feathers were just kings, and then you got some feathers that are kingdoms, right? This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 17. These great beasts, which are 4 kings, which shall rise out of the earth. Now, if you know about these beasts, they're empires. Assyrian, Babylonian, Persian, the Greek Empire, and the Roman Empire. But the scriptures call them what? Kings. So that's why when you come over here and we see the 4 feathers, these are kingdoms. It's not outside of the biblical, pattern for them to be just recognized as kings to make this breakdown work. This is what it is. I'm going to show you what it is historically, right? So Pope Leo III set up Charlemagne, who was a French, to be the head of the Holy Roman Empire. And the Holy Roman Empire started at 800, and it was a 900-year reign. This empire, and in history it says it really wasn't an empire. It really wasn't, an army, but it was able to reign it was able to last for 900 years. So they call it an empire because of its longevity, right? Now, these 4 is going to break down into the makeup of what the Holy Roman Empire was, all right? And mind you, when it tells you, going back to 2nd Esdras 12 and 21, it says, 2 of them shall perish, the middle of time approaching, 4 shall be kept until their end begin to approach, but 2 shall be kept until the end. So 2 are going to reign until their end that's going to come, but it's the other 2 of the 4 are going to reign all the way to the end. So I'm going to show you what that means. The kingdom of Germany is of the landmass and of the incorporation of the Holy Roman Empire. And it was incorporated into this Holy Roman Empire at 962 AD. And it stayed all the way to the Holy Roman Empire ended in 1806. Same thing with Italy, incorporated at 9. So that's the second feather at 962 AD. And it stayed all the way till 1801, right? Then you had Bohemia. It was incorporated into the Holy Roman Empire at the year 1002, and stayed till 1198 AD. So it stayed to the end of its time. It didn't stay to the end. That's the first one of that prophecy. And then Burgundy, which is the name of another province, made up was made of the Holy Roman Empire 1032 AD. And it stayed a part of it till 1378 AD. You understand? So those are your 4 feathers that remained and had their place in the existence of the Roman Empire of Esau's dominion. And that's how it ended. 2 of them staying all the way till 1800s, the early 1800s, and having their reign. Now, the Holy Roman Empire, I want to bring out a little more information. The Holy Roman Empire was called in 1512. It added on a title to its name. It wasn't just the Holy Roman Empire. It was called, from then on, the Holy Roman Empire of the German nation. All right? This is key. I'm going to tell y'all some deep stuff. And I learned this when I was studying out of the book of the 13th tribe. Right? Mind you, this is 1512. Right? That the nation, Holy Roman Empire, is now being called the Holy Roman Empire of the German nation in 1512. Um, the Khazars that are in Khazaria, right? Mind you, they went there in 670. They converted to Judaism, I think, in the 800, the 9th century, 800 something. And their reign started, they ended up getting conquered by Kievan Rus, the Rus people, modern day Russians, and started migrating into Poland, Ukraine, and all type of lands, right? Mind you, they had created a lot of beef with a lot of people because they was taxing people and was using them as collateral. And when they couldn't pay them back, they just, all right, well, your land is mine now. On some dirty stuff, making everybody in debt to them. They got kicked over 30 countries for their dealings. Nobody wanted to rock with these people. But they had power and wealth from what they were doing in Khazaria. There's a mighty empire, and they got really wealthy. There's a family from Khazar called the Merovingian family, okay? And I was talking to you about this earlier. They're one of the 13 families, original 13 families of the Illuminati. This is what you got to understand about these people. They went in and started marrying into all the quote-unquote royal families of Esau that were coming down, that had came down during the Renaissance period and started conquering, subduing the Byzantines empire and starting to establish their city-states all over Europe again. They start marrying into the families of Spain, right? The ones that even Isabella and Ferdinand, the ones that sent Columbus off to start. This is 1512 now, when the Holy Roman Empire is called the Holy Roman Empire of the German nation. And they're starting to go down to Africa, start looking for the Israelites, right? Starting to go over the Atlantic Ocean, start looking for the Israelites. During this time, the Renaissance period, which began in Italy, they start going on marrying monarchs in France, in Germany, in Britain, and lands that end up being called today Switzerland, Denmark, Hungary, right? They start marrying into these families to where they have authority and rulership in all the European nations by monarchy right now, y'all. I was tripping when I found this out. These people, these Khazars, are in royal authority, which what these nations call royal. I didn't even know. All these European nations, they got, a lot of them got kings. A lot of them don't have presidents. They got kings and queens, all right? And they're married into these families to where they have complete influence and authority over the affairs of all these nations. Y'all got to know this. This is how they was able to influence Columbus and whoever to go over and look for the Israelites, because they know what the scriptures say. Man, these people, they prophesied to go into captivity on ships. Let's get on these boats and go get them and go put them in captivity. This is going to work because the Bible said they're supposed to do that, right? So what you're learning is that Esau, when you track Amalek scripturally from Alexander the Greek all the way back to Esau, which is done easily through the Apocrypha. I've done this on a video, Public Enemy #1. That's talking about Esau. And these same people went up into the Caucasus Mountains, and they came out, and he started marrying into all the Germanic families and tribes, and Franks tribes, the Gauls, the Visigoths, all these Edomite countries, city-states that were in Europe. They gained royal authority over all these nations to push their influence, to subdue us, to keep their foot on our necks. All of them, they're all families. Now, mind you, I'll tell y'all something else. They are known for not cutting their hair, right? They always got long hair, and their hair is red. There's different physical attributes that subscribe to nationalities. Y'all know this, right? You know this. And so just to bring out in Esau, the Edomites, the so-called white men who have red hair and freckles and green eyes or blue eyes, they're directly from Amalek through this Merovingian family. I want y'all to know that. Amalekites, right? You might, Irish, first one to come to your mind. They're directly from Amalek. They're from Khazaria. All right? Just want to make that clear. Want to make that forward, right? Make that, let that information be forward, all right? Glory to the Most High. So this family went around and started marrying around and start bringing in their ideology and their understanding. Now, mind you, there's two more heads, eagle heads, yet. haven't rose up yet, right? We just went over the 4. Now we're going to go into the last 2, right? So let's go back to 2nd Esdras, chapter 11, and we'll read verse 26. And behold, and lo, there was one set up, but shortly it appeared no more, and the second was soon away after the first. And I beheld, and lo, the 2 that remained thought also in themselves to reign. And when they so thought, behold, there awaked one of the heads that were at rest. So when the 2 heads that went under the right head thought, you know what? This would be a good time for me to raise up and reign after this Holy Roman Empire started dying down in 1806. It was the one of the heads rose up, right? Now, you know what head this is? This head is America, right? This head is America. Let's read about it. And when they so thought, behold, there awaked one of the heads that were at rest, namely it was in the middle, for that was greater than the other 2 heads. Now, this doesn't mean the other 2 heads aren't in existence. This means they're not reigning right now. This middle head is America, Babylon, and it said, all right, it's my time to rise up. Because what? Slavery, it started off right at the end of the 1400s, coming into the same time where the Holy Roman Empire was being called Holy Roman Empire of Germany. And now the head's starting to wake up. Now it's like, all right, it's my turn, right? 2nd Esdras chapter 11, verse 30. And then I saw that the 2 other heads were joined with it. Now they woke up like, all right, we're going to start doing this thing, right? Now, let's get a scripture so we can, bring this to fruition scripturally, right? Psalms 80 and verse 17 says, let thy hand be upon the man of thy right hand, upon the son of man whom thou madest strong for thyself. So this is talking about a higher, and it's prophecy saying, let your hand be upon, let thy hand be upon the man of thy right hand, your right hand man, right? So let your hand, let your blessing, let your authority, let your power be upon the man of your right hand, even the son of man, that's a Mashiach, who y'all made it strongest for yourself, right? So I wanted to show you this because the head that's on the right side of the eagle, they like this with the head that's in the middle. The one on the left, he's on the left because he's contrary to the one that's in the middle. Y'all understand? So this is how you can break down these last 3 heads today. Now, y'all know right now, if y'all woke, y'all know right now that it's 3 Edomite powers in the world. Now we got it clear right in front of us now, right? The one in the middle is the one that reigns over the whole earth, America. That's Babylon. Now, the one on the right-hand side is the nation or the kingdom that has been cool. Conjunction with America for a while. Understand? This kingdom is the one that came up out of the 3 little horns that were plucked up. So the head on the right is the what? It's the 10 horns, right? It's the 10 horns. So if y'all know today, you can interpret these things just speaking vaguely. America, the EU. What's the other head then? That's on the left. That's against both them, the middle head and the one on the right. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't bring this video out, because I was hearing people addressing who this left head is as another nation. So I had to stop this study and do a bring out on who Japhet really is. All right? Glory to Ahai Bashim Nishai. This left head is Russia. That's who it is. Mind you, let me remind you, 2nd Esdras chapter 6 says, Esau is the end of the world. There's not going to be a world power reigning right now that ain't from Esau. All right? So right now we see clearly there's 3 powerful Edomite nations reigning. You got the strongest one, United States, America, and on his right hand you got the 10 horns, because that's where they came out of. That's who they've been cool with all this time. United Kingdom, they had policy real close for a long time. And then you got Russia that's on the left. Y'all understand? These is who the three heads is right now, right? Now let's go second Esdras, chapter 11, verse 31. And behold, the head that was turned with them that were with it, and did eat up the two feathers under the wing that would have reigned. So, let me start 30. And when I saw that the two other heads were joined with it. So now all three heads awoke. Verse 31. And behold, the head was turned with them that were with it, and did eat up the two feathers under the wing that would have reigned. So understand, and this is the part where I'm still looking at Revelation, but this is what I believe it is, right? And we'll read we'll read chapter 12 and get that bring out too. Matter of fact, before I bring it out. All right. Let's read 32 right quick. Second Esdras 11 and 32. But this head put the whole earth in fear. This is America. And bare rule in it over all those that dwelt upon the earth with much oppression. And it had the governance of the world more than all the wings that had been. Y'all know that's America. That can't be nobody else but America. Let's get this same bring out. Let's get this same bring out in Second Esdras chapter 12. And let's get that bring out, all right? Okay, Second Esdras chapter 12, verse 22. And whereas thou sawest three heads resting, this is the interpretation. In his last days shall the Most High raise up three kingdoms and renew many things therein, and they shall have the dominion of the earth. This is America. This is the 10 horns EU, Western EU, and this is Russia. Those are the three heads right there, right? And of those that dwell therein with much oppression above all those that were before them, and therefore are they called the heads of the eagle. The faces and the dominion and the power of Esau's kingdom is divided in these three kingdoms right now, right? Verse 25, for these are they that shall accomplish his wickedness and shall finish his last end. That means the end of Esau's world is going to be ending with these three heads, right? And whereas thou sawest that the great head appeared no more. Hold on, getting ahead of myself. Let's go back over to 2 Esdras 11:33. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, the head that was in the midst suddenly appeared no more, like as the wings. What happened? What happened, right? Let's read that now, 2 Esdras 12 and 26. And whereas thou sawest the great head appear no more, it signified that one of them shall die upon his bed, and yet with pain. So this is the destruction. This is the exiting out of the world, right? This is the end of dominion of America, Babylon, right? Now let's go to Revelation 17 to show how this is going to happen. Let's show it. Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon her head, this is the head on the right side that was tight and was cool, and what America came out of. It says, the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Mind you, the whore in this breakdown of Revelation is America. The little horn in Daniel's Revelation is America. So it said they're going to hate the whore. And what they're going to do? And shall make her desolate, make her bare and naked, reveal all her lies, all her deceit, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So yes, the 10 horns, the EU, they're going to turn on America. Like that. If you know, that's what they're doing now. They expose America. You're exploiting this Ukrainian war for money. Keep on keeping it going so you can keep selling weapons. So you can use it as a training in the battlefield for all these new inventions that you're putting out into the military world, right? They're getting sick of them. They're going to sanction the authorization for the Medes, who are the modern day Iranians, to go ahead and bomb, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think I was speaking about this earlier, but if not, America is trying to release five prisoners in Iran right now, and got to release 6 million. Iran said, no, you got to release 6 million too, right? And you got to give us some prisoners that you got. EU, who? Britain, Germany, and France broke off the EU and made themselves the E3. It's like, nah, we're not doing that. They're the core. Those three are the core of the 10 horns. what they're going to do is they're not going to feel. Then this is what's going to happen futurely going forward. They're going to be like, man, America tripping, man. We gonna do a deal underground with Iran. We know Iran hate. They hating America right now. Look, they're gonna work some deal with Iran, and they're gonna let Iran take off, and they're gonna let Iran bomb Babylon. This is going to happen. All right, this is going to happen. Iran's been making money doing transactions with Russia over the Caspian Sea, which is landlocked transaction. Nobody can get over there and sanction them and stop them. Iran can ship anything across the Caspian Sea they want to Russia, and can't nobody stop nothing, right? And so they got the technology now. They sure got the enriched uranium. They got the amount enough of enriched uranium to make the nuclear bombs, or they can just buy one. They got supersonic, hypersonic technology now from Russia. They have everything they need if they want to go to work on America. They got everything they need, right? And so, finishing out here, it says, the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Because America promised to give the EU, like, we'll make sure you got liquid natural gas. We'll make sure you got, oil for this winter coming up. We'll make sure you got everything you need. Just keep the sanctions on Russia so we can weaken them. So that agenda fits America. We weaken at Russia, right? So we can keep Russia subdued. You're like, this ain't working out. First, you start overcharging us for the liquid natural gas you was giving us, and then you couldn't secure oil from Saudi Arabia. That's why Biden flying all over the place in the Middle East trying to get cool with these nations so we can work out a deal to get the oil to get diverted from their customers over to the EU. Saudi Arabia's like, man, we good with money. We good with a personal relationship we done had over here. We're not just finna stop selling oil to certain people because you coming up trying to bully us. Because that's what America do. They bully people. Do this, or we're going to take away our military protection. We're going to take our armies away from your region. And then you're going to have to fight all your little military proxy wars with Iran by yourself. Right? This was going on over there. So, not to get too far into it, but this is what's making the 10 horns hate the whore. Mess up their whole financial situation. The grain deal for Ukraine, they can't even have bread. France, they can't have their pastries, their croissants. They getting bothered. Like, man, this is messed up. You're making us punish these people and it's not even working. We're hurting ourselves, right? This is what the U.S. president was saying to Americans. For the greater good, the gas prices are going to be high, but just think about it. We're helping out Ukraine. We're helping them defend their land. Man, you ain't doing nothing but tearing down Babylon. That's all they doing under the guise of we're helping Ukraine. You got people sleeping on the street. You got immigration all-time high. You got defunding police, crime rampant, trains blowing up, food processing places blowing up, refineries blowing up. All kind of crazy stuff happening, but you sit in what? They just totaled, I think it's over 100 billion that they done sent to Ukraine. Right? So this is why the 10 horns are going to hate the whore, right? Verse 17, for I had put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of Ahijah shall be fulfilled. So I got to take a time and pause right now to let you know. We just read the destruction of the middle head that Ezra didn't see no more. They were destroyed by the head on the right, the 10 horns. Now the 10 horns are going to reign for a short space, right? So all of you that believe that the Messiah is going to come pick you up from Babylon, if there's going to be a spiritual intervention of any sort over Babylon, when Babylon gets destroyed by the Medes, and when all the other nations are going to start busting, throwing man, let's get a little bit of Jeremiah. I got to. All right? The Most High hires nations to bring for his will, right? So this is Jeremiah chapter 51. Let me just read it all. Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus said Ahijah, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, America, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. Right? This is a destruction that's coming to you. And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her. When something's burning, and the fan is going to make it keep burning more. Right? And shall empty her land, make her desolate. Right? Make her naked. Right? For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. All her enemies are going to be round about her when it's all said and done. Talking about America. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Those that got the missiles, those that got the hypersonic ICBM, right? and against him that lifted himself up in his brigadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Destroy everything in this nation, men, women, and children, right? Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel had not been forsaken, nor Judah for of his power of the Most High of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. I was like, man, look, I was mad at you, man. I got to punish you. I spoke. I'm not a liar. I spoke in the law. If you transgress, I'm going to curse you. But I ain't just forsake you like utterly, right? Just punishing you, right? Verse 6, flee out of the midst of Babylon. Get out the way, right? Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. It says you deliver your soul, yourself. And it says it's a spiritual intervention. You get up and you deliver yourself. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Most High's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So this is the time he's going to destroy her. If you're over there, he's saying, get out the way. He's not saying, look, stay right there. I'm going to come get you. Doesn't say that, y'all. You got to have faith. You got to understand, bro. This is what it say. This is why I want to go through this verse, this chapter, this whole lesson. Because this is a precept to the same thing Revelation 17 is telling you, that the return of a Mashiach is not synonymous with the destruction and judgment of Babylon. It's not. The 10 horns still going to reign for a short space. Maybe of about 3.5 years, according to Revelation 11. About 3.5 years, y'all. All right. So you got to come out here, and we're coming up on this 3.5 years so swiftly, y'all. So swiftly. The way you market, the way you're going to market it, I mean, you can't wait till what happens, because that's going to be at the 3.5 year mark. But all the wars, rumors of wars, all the making bare, all the lies that are being revealed about Babylon, the child trafficking that's being revealed, that's being done by all your politicians, your famous people that you're looking up to and wishing and admiring and trying to be encouraged by. You want to be like these dudes doing Moloch sacrifices from ancient Babylon, man. Same thing done in ancient Babylon being done today, y'all. It's being shown. That's what it means, making bare, lifting up the thigh. It's showing her secrets, showing what she doing, right? Showing how wicked she is, showing that she's really not the good guy. She's the bad guy, this whore, right? Verse 7, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Most High's hand. The golden cup, the same cup that the Pope hold of what? Rome, right? And had made all the earth drunken. Everybody think, it's cool to fornicate. Everybody think it's cool to have that woman dressing lewdly. Everybody think it's cool to walk in the ways of the world. The whole world want to be wicked like Babylon, right? Everybody drunk the wine. And the nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. This is why everyone's moving out of Babylon, moving to their countries where they originally from. Their businesses, they closing them. It's people here I meet all the time say, yeah, my cousin got a business in Chicago. Or I got a cousin that live in Texas. I got a family that live in New York. They all have businesses, right? Some of them be coming back though, right? For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. The Most High had brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Most High, our power. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Most High had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. This is the Iranians. For his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Most High, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. And we talking about the watch? He's telling you, set up the standard in Babylon. Do what you can, but you fighting against the Most High. You're not going to beat the Most High. You're not going to beat the people that he blessed the war with the sword, right? You got them fighting each other. Kingdom going to fight against kingdom. This is what it's talking about. Even in Edom, they're going to fight against each other. The nation divided against itself shall not stand. That's why the eagles are going to continue to destroy each other's. That's what they did when the kings were fighting in the inception of the Roman Empire, and now at the tail end, They're going to start devouring each other. These heads, we're going to read it. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. For the Most High had both devised and done that, which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwelleth upon many waters. 800 military bases on all type of nations. let's get that just to make sure. Revelation 17, all right? And the woman which thou sawest is the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Let's get to verse 15, Revelation 17 and 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Because she sit all over the world, right? That's what it's telling you when it says, Jeremiah 51:13, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundance and treasures, because they sucking all the treasures out of every land that they colonizing, every land that they occupying, the oil, the black market, taking the heroin, taking the children. That's why they got all these treasures, man. We're warring with the sword, dwelling all over the earth, man. This is what this man has done, right? In the eyes of the Most High, this is why he say he hate this man, because this is what he has done. And there's a recompense. You don't get to get away with this. This is how I go, right? And Most High has sworn by himself. Let me go back. Yes, let me go back up verse 13. Jeremiah 51:13. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. Verse 14. The Most High of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as the caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout again. He had made the earth by his power. He had established the world by his wisdom and has stretched out his heaven by the understanding. Okay, so that's enough on that. Right? So that's enough on that. So going back with the two remaining heads, right? 2nd Esdras 17 tells you that the 10 horns have destroyed Babylon. Now, if you understand, it says the 10 horns are going to reign in short space. So this is letting you know there's going to be a conflict between the East EU, Western EU, which will be the 10 horns, and Russia. And Russia's going to lose. I'm making it known to you. Let's read it. Let's read it. Okay, 2nd Esdras, chapter 12, and now, verse 33. And after 2nd Esdras 11 and verse 33. And after this I beheld, and lo, the head that was in the midst suddenly appeared no more, like as the wings. That's the America. Verse 34. But there remain the two heads, which also in like sort ruled upon the earth and over those that dwelt therein. So when Babylon gets killed, it's going to be a power vacuum. Who's going to reign? Y'all might think, well, China finna reign. China not finna do nothing, right? China not finna do nothing. China's Japheth. You watch the video. Who is Japheth? China's Japheth, right? They're not prophesied to do nothing. So that's how we know China's not doing nothing. Not right now, right? Verse 35. And I beheld, and lo, the head upon the right side devoured it that was on the left side. So this is telling you, after the EU or the Western EU destroyed Babylon, now they're going to attack the head that's on the other side. That's Russia. That's how we know what's about to happen. Like, we watching this. We know, I'm looking at what's said and what's done. I'm okay. I know after all that yakety-yakking, these original families with the Moravian, the Moravian families of Amalek, of Khazar, of ancient Rome, reigning in these European royal families, quote unquote royal families, they're going to get the dominion and destroy all of their own house. And they're going to have the last reign of this eagle. Understand, right? Now let's read that same thing, bless your name, Ahaya, in 2nd Esdras chapter 12, verse 27 says, for the two that remain shall be slain with the sword. For the sword of one shall devour the other, but at the last shall he fall through the sword himself. So this is even telling you, after the 10 horns destroy Russia, somebody's going to destroy the 10 horns. Now, according to what we read, and let's read it. Don't get ahead of ourselves. Let's look Let's look at verse 29. Second Esdras 12 and 29. And whereas thou sawest two feathers under the wings passing over the head that is on the right side. Remember them two wings that separated themselves from the six contrary feathers? Yes, we're talking about right now. It signifies that these are they whom the highest has kept unto their end. This is the small kingdom and full of trouble as thou saw. Remember we read in Obadiah, the Most High said he made ye small amongst the heathen, right? So he has preserved this fraction of Esau, not as a reigning empire no more, but for what? For what? Let's bring out what he got him there for, right? The Revelation 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He wouldn't be a just power that can't lie if he didn't spare some of these of Rome, of Edom, to go into captivity. So he's sparing a little to get taken into captivity. So for the fulfillment of Isaiah chapter 14, right? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. That's why some of them are going to get killed with the sword, as we read. Here is the patience and the faith of the saint. This is what we're waiting for, right? Now let's go to Isaiah and just read a little more about this. These two wings that he's saving, right? Isaiah 14 and 1. And the Most High will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. It's not cleaving to Ahiah. So they're going to cleave to the house of Jacob. I got to point that out. You look in the law, man, they're going to tell you it's a commandment for Israel to cleave unto Ahiah. All right, so them cleaving to us is not them cleaving to Ahiah. They're cleaving to us as a people in fear and reverence and respect that they can get treated a certain way because they know how they done treated us. All right, verse 2. And the Most High shall take them and bring them to their place, who Israel, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. This is what the Most High preserving these last two wings for, right? They got to go into captivity, right? Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. They're not going to rise up anymore. They done did their thing. They done reigned. They done ruled. Say, all right, this is a wrap. Okay, you're going into captivity. You're going to pay for the transgression of your forefathers. Some of y'all paying with your blood. You're going to get put to death. And some of y'all paying with going into captivity and serving the Yasharala Israel and serving us in the nation for 1,000 years. Right? Move a little bit on. All right. Let me see. Now let's get to 2nd Esdras 11 and verse 34. But there remained the two heads. No. 2nd Esdras 11 and 35. And I beheld, and lo, the head upon the right side devoured it that was upon the left side. Then I heard a voice which said unto me, Look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion, chased out of the wood. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle and said, so it's a lion, metaphorically talking to this buster eagle, right? Let's see what it said. Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee. So, hear thou, and I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee. So, understand, the Most High speaking through this line is saying, hear thou, and the highest, who the highest is the higher, shall say unto thee, art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts? Aren't you the Roman Empire? Aren't you the fourth beast, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? That's how we know this nation is going to reign to the end. That's how we can identify who everybody is, because by prophecy, Esau is reigning to the end, right? And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit, been deceiving, been lying, teaching, changing history, changing times, changing the likeness of the images of our forefathers in the book. They done did so much, y'all. For the earth has thou not judged with truth. They ain't been dealing with truth. But the police force is judge, jury, and executioner, not even the judges that falsely judge biasly. When you get to court, you don't even get to go to court no more. They just kill you. That's unjust judgment. That's a false balance, man. Verse 1 2, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit. They don't even want you harvesting the animals no more, letting cows graze freely no more, letting chickens graze grass-fed anymore. They want to lock them in factories and shoot them up with medicine and drugs and steroids and make them grow faster so they can kill them faster and they can feed them to the population faster. All right. And now they're even killing the animals, saying, now we're just going to make you beef. We're going to make you chicken. We're going to put chicken in labs and put IVs in them and just grow it real fast and hurry up and serve it to you. We're going to pour this liquid in a bowl of jelly, hot boiling water, and then cram it up and let it be some meat. Let it be some lettuce. Like, this is what they're doing now. Who's doing this? Esau. Esau doing this. Those that bring forth fruit and have cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. You mess with people that don't even bother you. Going all over the nations where you're not even involved, and make an issue. Make a militia, support a militia, make them cause drama, then come in like you're a peacekeeper and you come in and just set up shop and put a military base and start pumping all the natural resources, all the diamonds, all the gold, all the oil, all the uranium, right? This is what this nation do. All their nations do this, all right? Verse 43, therefore is thy wrongful dealings come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. Now he's like, you done sinned too much, your cup is full. Time to judge you. Remember he said the iniquity of the Amorites is not full yet, and didn't let them get destroyed during Abraham time. He held them to that time for when our forefathers went down into Egypt and multiplied the 600,000 mighty men of war. Then when he came up to take us into the land, all right, the cup of their iniquity is full. Take these dudes out, right? These nations got a cup. They got a limit how far they can go, right? The highest also had looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. Babylon done sinned enough. Esau done sinned enough. Window. Hey, on this side, yeah. Look, open it right there. Bring it here. Come right here. Give it to me right here. Water. Hold on. In that green container, open it. It's empty. All right, here. Right? And so, Salakia, so we're reading about Babylon, all right? Verse 45, and therefore appeared no more thou eagle. This is the Most High judgment upon the eagle who is Edom. Therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy terrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, the talents, nor all thy vain body. So your whole body, your whole existence is vanity to me, and nothing, and less than nothing, right? That all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for judgment and mercy of him that made her. That's the judgment. This is what's being said in Obadiah, right? There should not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Most High has spoken it, right? Now let's read the same account in 2nd Esdras chapter 12, and we're about to wrap up, right? 2nd Esdras chapter 12 and verse 31. And the lion whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood and roaring and speaking to the eagle and rebuking her for her unrighteousness with all the words which thou hast heard, this is the anointed which the highest hath kept for them. Who is this? Let's get it out the scripture, right? Let's get it out the scripture. We just got to read it because this story is just sounding so good. We got to read it, right? This is Revelation 5 and 5. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, had prevailed to open the book and loose the 7 seals thereof. This is Hamashiach. They're anointed the Most High held by him a long season. His right hand, the man of his right hand, the Son of Man. This is Hamashiach coming in the form of a lion to judge Esau. Right? Let's read it again. Second Esdras 12 and 31. And the lion whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood and roaring and speaking to the eagle and rebuking her for her unrighteousness with all the words which thou hast heard, this is the anointing which the highest hath kept for them and for their wickedness unto the end. He shall reprove them and shall upbraid them with their cruelty. For he shall set them before him alive in judgment and shall rebuke them and correct them. For the rest of my people shall he deliver with mercy, those that have been preserved upon my borders. Man, that's so key. How is that not understood? That's so crystal clear. Okay. First, I tell you in Matthew 24, after the time of the tribulations, when he come, when the sun is darkened and that moon don't give her light, and the stars shall fall, that's when he's coming. All right. Then it shows Babylon going to get destroyed. And then it's telling you when Hamashiach is going to come judge the remnant of these people after the 10 horns is reigning and destroy the other head, which is Russia. Then he's going to come and rebuke and judge him. Why would you think Hamashiach's coming at the same time Babylon is being destroyed, Yasha Allah? It's not going to happen. That's not the truth. This is the whole reason why I want to go through this. I did the Revelation 17 and the Beast, one of the first videos I did on this page. It was so long ago, I think it kind of, it's not fresh in people's mind. You know, people not understanding the time right now we in right now. All right. This even helps you understand the time because we see there's 3 heads reigning right now that are of Edom origin. All right. Let's see. Verse 34. For the rest of my people shall he deliver with mercy those that have been preserved upon my borders. Most High willing, we get this new covenant and we going in his borders. All right, his borders is broken down as, at least coming from the east, is the Jordan River, the Sea of Galilee, and the Dead Sea. When you get on the other side of that, you're in his borders. All right. Gotta know this. And he shall make them joyful until the coming of the day of judgment, whereof I have spoken unto thee from the beginning. This is a dream that thou sawest, and these are the interpretation. Thou only hast been made to know the secret of the highest. Therefore, write all these things down. Write all these things that thou hast seen in a book and hide them. So, like I was telling you, you got to write down your dreams, write down your revelation, write down your understanding. This is telling you clearly, this is how it's going to go, right? Now, let's read the first part one more time of 2 Esdras chapter 12 and 1. And it came to pass, while the lion spake these words unto the eagle, I saw, and behold, the head that remained, and the 4 wings appeared no more, and the 2 went unto it, and set themselves up to reign, and their kingdom was small and full of uproar. And I saw, and behold, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle was burnt, so that the earth was in great fear. Then awaked I out of the trouble of my trance in my mind, and from the great fear, and said unto my spirit. So as we see in Ezra, he gets the whole breakdown understanding. He says it crystal clearly. The whole body, which represents Esau, Edom, is burnt. Done data, there's no more. Right? And so I'm speaking on that, but the whole breakdown, glory to the Most High, and I thank y'all for your endurance, your diligence, and listening to his word, and your patience, understand his word. We needed to know this to understand, again, you cannot, right, endure from Babylon to the return of Mashiach. We blowing the trumpet. The more you're blowing the trumpets, telling you again, you got to have the faith. It's not about substance. It's not about funds. It's about faith. Yes, funds help, but your faith is what make something come out of nothing, man. Y'all got to understand, man. All right. I pray y'all heard this word, man. You know, we've been going on, glory to the Most High, almost 2.5. You know, it's been a minute since I was able to sit down and do a lesson thorough with y'all, man. I thank the Most High, y'all, for y'all even doing with me all this walk, man. But this is like one of the last revelations I want to bring out, because we got to put this stuff into action. We got to start walking by the Spirit now. We got to start doing. We got to be the man, children of the light, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not those. Let's get that Hebrews, man. We can't get depressed. We can't get like broken and want to give up. Time's about to get rough. We supposed to be strong, man. We supposed to be strong right now, man. I pray, man, y'all got to be strong right now, man. Don't give up, man. All right, this is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 38. Now the just shall live by faith. You better have some faith, man. You can have some money, okay, but you better have some faith. You could have some way to work with your hands, but you better have faith, because the Most High is going to have to at some point make a way for you. All right? This is where it goes. You need a testimony. You need to know what he can do, right? Now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. I ain't not gonna have no pleasure in you. You know, man, I ain't dealing with you. You ain't got no faith. You wavering. Dealing with you, right? But we, bless your name higher, are not of them who draw back into perdition, separating ourselves from the Most High by what? By sin, by walking back in the way of the world. But of them that believe to the saving of our soul. That's the only way your soul can get saved. You got faith and you can believe, man. You got hope, all right? And you got diligence with your hope, man, all right? I pray, man, that y'all make your election sure. I pray that you seek the whole heart, seek the Most High with your whole heart, man. He's not playing. He knows the hearts. He searches the reins. He know if you really choose him. He know if you love him. He know if you really want to serve him, man. That's real. I pray, man. Those in Babylon, I say prayers for y'all. You know what I'm saying? All day long, all the time. I'm praying for y'all. I pray y'all come out of here and be not partaker of her sins and receive none of her plagues. The plagues is hitting that place, y'all. I'm almost like burnt out on how much stuff I see daily over there on independent news. Daily, I'm seeing stuff happening. People getting killed. People getting poisoned. People, their whole houses, neighborhoods being burned down. People being made to start wrapping up again. And they about to lock y'all down. It's gonna be an indefinite lockdown. I'm just letting y'all know this time. They took notes last time. They got stuff in place at a time for any move you think you about to make. They already got stuff in there. Your best bet, your only bet, you get up out of there. If you can't, man, stay there, keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, and keep the faith in the Mount Shai, walk in the fruits of the Spirit, and die valiantly if he be the Most High. If that's your lot, bro. You don't give in, you don't draw back. Do y'all hear me, man? This is serious business, man. I hope y'all take y'all salvation serious. This is dead serious, man. There's a kingdom waiting for us, and it's a nation that don't want you to have it. It's a spiritual power that don't want you to have that dominion. Don't want you to have that everlasting joy, righteousness, and peace. Love the Most High, man. Seek the Most High, man. Afflict your soul, man. Get that power, get that spirit down in your soul, man. Good. Get it down in there good. You hear me? Love y'all, man. Love my people, man. Pray y'all be strong. Pray y'all endure. Pray y'all sin not. Pray, man, don't give into the lust of the eyes, the pride of this world, man, and serve a higher with your whole heart. We almost there, y'all. We almost there. Y'all hear me? Again, I want to go all thanks, glory, and praise, honor to our power. Ahaya Shor, Ahaya Bashini Shai, Wakwadashi Wak, Kwam Yasharala. Blow up the trumpet, y'all. Let your people know. Wake Yasharala up, man. And if it is of your lot, man, come out of Babylon, y'all. Most I bless y'all. Pray my strength. I'm going to pray y'all's. Shalom.